My guest tonight's a very funny comedian who hosts the SiriusXM Comedy Central radio show You Up with Nikki Glaser. And of course, her hilarious stand-up special, Bangin', is streaming now on Netflix. Please welcome our really good friend, Nikki Glaser. Nikki, let's get started right away. Where are you?
I am in my dad's office in St. Louis, Missouri. I have lived here, not in the office, but I have lived at in my childhood home since this started. Honestly, the last time I was on your show was the last time I did anything. You were the last person I think I touched. And it's true.
Yeah, and guess what, Nikki? You were the last person I touched, and I'm married. So that's just a peek into my life.
Seriously, my parents and I were just talking about it, and they were at your show with me. They were out in LA visiting me when this all went down, and it was right before things got weird. And my mom just revealed to us a couple days ago that she had been terrified that she gave you coronavirus because you guys hugged, and it was still in that weird phase of like, do we touch? But you hugged her, and so she was harboring this like deep fear. And we were watching your show every night, and she always has this like awkwardness about it when she's watching. When you clear your throat, she's like on edge. Like, did I give it to him?
Yeah.
And so she thinks she's out of the woods now. So
yeah. I think she's safe now. I remember your parents are very nice people, but I remember your mom licking the side of my face. Long licks up both sides.
Yes.
And
Classic mom.
And then she said, "You're a tasty man," and growl. I thought she has issues, but I was very. Now listen, we have to talk about something because you are always on the go, and your career is red hot. You were on a national tour. You have TV shows in the works. And then suddenly everything stops. And this is true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But everything stops. And suddenly you're in your parents' home in St. Louis. There's got to be like whiplash where it just suddenly stops for you.
It was, I never thought this could happen. In fact, I've lost every job I had before this. Like they've all kind of stopped or been put on hold, except one show that I'm writing right now that I pitched a year ago, which was a show in which I lose everything because I get canceled and I have to move back home to St. Louis to live with my parents. And that's the only show that is still like I have to go through with. So I'm currently writing that show, which used to be some like kind of sci-fi thing. Like, how could that ever happen? And I'm writing this show now living here. And it's weird because I'll write a scene and then I'll go to get water in the kitchen and like have just like an attitude with my dad because I'm like, in act 1 you were just such a jerk. So it's just it was never this would never have happened for me to live at home with my parents. And it's just hard because I'm just used to going out every night and doing stand-up. I'm used to just staying so busy and getting so much attention. And I'm coping with it. I got a karaoke machine, which I sing karaoke in my parents' living room every day. I sing about 8 to 12 songs a day.
Like, what are you singing, for example?
I'm just peeling off and just singing a couple Taylor Swift songs, maybe a Britney Spears. I've really been digging into that song Lucky. I've been relating to it a lot because it's like it's about a famous girl who cries at night because nothing's working out her way. And it's just it's happened
funny
to me.
Because that's my song.
I'm gonna burn down my gym pretty soon. I'm just going full Britney.
Yeah.
I've been just trying to get my parents to film me so I can put out content and remind people I'm alive. Like, and they're disappointing me. They can never get the right angle, and they're like, we don't like to film you. So I've just been going to my front porch and getting the security camera to capture me.
Yes. You know, it's great. We have the pictures. We have the pictures from is this your Ring? This must be like the Ring.
Yes, the Ring app camera.
Put these up. It's like you are going for it. And
I got to remind people I need to find a husband when I get out of here. It's no joke anymore. I can't go through another one of these. Even if they say that it's going to come back in the fall, even by then I want someone to love me and I need a partner. I can't live with my parents forever. Well, I used to be on the celebrity dating app Raya.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. So as soon as I landed in St. Louis, I powered that up and was like, what celebrities do we have in St. Louis? And there's one guy who went to high school with John Hamm. And there's also
Wait,
the
that's
Arch.
a celebrity? A guy who went to high school with John Hamm is a celebrity on Raya?
I'm kidding, but like,
oh man, that would be great.
There's no one. Literally, there was no one in St. Louis that was famous, and so I just have to. Yeah, I have to resort to going through my old high school yearbooks just to comb through and look for potential mates or someone who could sell me mushrooms now. There's so many people in the yearbook that I'm like, he's probably has a side gig.
Have you been able to meet up with anybody in like a socially distant, responsible way?
Yeah, I went on my ex-boyfriend just moved back to town. And so I'm like, oh, that's the next chapter of this story, I guess. So let's do that. So I went on a hike with him a couple days ago. We went on I found it really good to walk in front of someone who you're trying to kind of impress, because the whole time I was just clenching my ass cheeks. So I felt like I got a better workout than I would normally. So I really did. I was like trying to impress him from behind. And then later on I was like, I am sore. And it's like, oh, you were trying so hard to win him back with your butt. So that was good.
Okay. Well, this gets me to what we have to talk about, because whenever you and I chat, it's a very, those segments are very popular because you were quite candid about your dating life and your, I'm just going to say a word I just made up, sexploits. That's never been done before. You were dating a lot before quarantine, and then suddenly, what's it like for you now? It just stops.
Yeah, you can't do anything, and no guys want to even talk because you can't. There's no end to this. There's no like. Eventually, you're gonna hang out. I mean, you can go on social distance hikes, but even that I can't even go on. I can't go see a guy. I was recently talking to someone and I asked my mom if I could, and it just puts them in jeopardy. So I'm literally not having sex now so that my mom doesn't die, which feels really heroic in a lot of ways. I'm like, I can't go get in the woods right now, Mom, because I care about your health. And it just feels good to be able to tell her that and really mean it.
You're saying you're up there with the World War II generation of heroism.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because you can't.
I had to text a guy the other day. I can't go. My mom and dad won't let me, which I've never. I'm about to be 36 in a month, and I just texted that. I've never had to text that before. The last time I even had to tell someone that, texting didn't exist. So that was truly the first time. It's wild living at home. It's weird though, because and people are like, are you horny? Do you want to get out there? And the truth is I'm just not. It's hard. People keep asking me like about, I keep asking myself why I'm not masturbating more. And it's because it's weird to do when my parents aren't, or when my parents are here.
You're in your parents' house. I'm assuming, the walls are thin.
Yeah. The dogs are small, so they go take the dog for a walk, but they're back in 4 minutes. It's not enough time for me to get anything done. They're always here. I sent away for my vibrators. I thought maybe that was it. It's just like, I need like some equipment. And so I had my assistant find them in my apartment.
You sent away for them. Why did you send away for them?
Because I needed them, because I'm not good at manual. My hand is worthless to me. I don't have a body pillow.
Okay. I think you misunderstood. I wasn't wondering why you needed to masturbate, of course.
Right. Okay. Yes. Because I'm a woman with needs.
Well, please. I'm told, I don't believe it, that I didn't have an orgasm. I've never experienced that myself.
I was on the road when this all went down. I didn't have anything with me.
Okay, so you didn't have access to your equipment.
It's all in my apartment in New York. So I had my assistant send it to me. And I only say that so that I can mention that I have an assistant. But she went and I had to like tell her where to go look for them. I was like, one of them looks like an ear thermometer. One is like a massage chair. Just send the chair. I miss rubbing up on that thing. No, she sent me this huge box, and I was like, wrap it in weed so you can hide the smell. And
I'm gonna leave for a second. I'll be right back.
All right, yeah. I'll keep a watch. Everything looks good.
I'm just walking it off. All right.
Get those steps in.
All right. Okay. So anyway.
But I haven't even used them. I told my mom saw the box before I did, and she was like, "This is heavy. What's in here?" And I was like, "Candlesticks, like just making things up." And then
Candlesticks.
I was just thinking of something long and heavy.
Uh-huh.
And then the power went out the other day. She's like, "Get those candlesticks," and I'm like, "Well, they're not going to work without power. Those plug into the wall, so that's gonna."
They're electric candlesticks.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom. Just shut up. I don't want to.
But even masturbating in your house with your parents. I didn't do it in high school. I wasn't really a sexual teenager, so I wasn't doing it back then. And now I'm trying it now, and I'm scared of making any noise. I bite down on a stick like I'm giving birth in the wood, like I'm Pocahontas giving birth.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was not a sexual teenager. I became sexual, I think, during Obama's first term. That's when I really blossomed.
Yes.
As a sensual.
Were you really a late bloomer?
Yes, very late bloomer. Yeah.
Yeah, so was I. I really didn't like boys until I was like 28 or something. I just didn't. I didn't care, and so nothing about living at home reminds me of having a sexual energy. I really am reverting back into being a teenager again. I'm listening to Taylor Swift in my bedroom. I'm borrowing my parents' car. I'm, but pretty soon my mom's going to be bathing me in the sink again. It's just, it's a quick descent.
I've got to say, I've met your parents. As you mentioned, they came to the show. They couldn't be nicer. They seem like very laid back, chill people. They watched you do your set on my show, which is always very funny, but also, it's something I wouldn't imagine most people would want their parents around while they're doing their set. And then I saw your parents afterwards, and they're like, "Wasn't she terrific?" And they're just, the most normal people in the world. They're great. But are they laid back? Are they pretty chill? They're okay having you around. Obviously, they must love it.
They love it. We're having a great time. I really am so grateful that they are healthy and I get to have this time with them. And it's interesting. They're cool. I have cool parents, also known as alcoholics, but I don't joke about their drinking anymore because they actually quit talking to me. And so they don't like when I do that, but no, they're super fun. They're so cool. We're having a great time. We watch you every night. It's part of our ritual. We're big Conan fans in this house. I'm literally sipping from this right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, maybe I can't even show this because you guys don't own the rights anymore, but I have my old tattered copy of In the Year 2000 that was in my nightstand in my childhood bedroom that I have notes in. This was my original comedy notebook.
Oh, that's so nice. That's great.
It
looks like it's been through a lot.
It has been through a lot. So have you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's actually looking better than I am, frankly. I have to say, speaking of appearances, you look really good.
Oh, thanks.
You look very, you look very zen. You look very good. You look.
Thanks.
Are you, because I think a lot of us, I'll speak for myself, but you've been on my show. They paint a ton of makeup on me.
Oh my God.
I appear on camera. I'm really enjoying, I'm not just saying this like that celebrity. I'm not wearing makeup. I'm honestly not wearing anything right now because it's a Zoom. And I just started to think the first couple of Zoom interviews I did, I was trying to put makeup on and I thought, what am I doing? Who cares? And I don't know. I'm kind of really liking not wearing makeup. Are you liking that?
I love it so much. I was going to ask you about it. Who's doing your makeup now? Because it's something you don't go on TV without makeup. It's unheard of. But I love that we're getting back to it. I feel a lot like the planet is healing. Women's faces are getting back to their natural state. A lot like the Venice canals, dolphins are swimming in them now. It's women have lines on their face. I want to get in here and show you some stuff that I got going. My Botox is completely gone. It's still going right here, but I got this back. This was so smooth before, and now it's like a washboard. I've been washing my intimates in the sink on it, which is really helpful since the laundromats are closed. And I also, my eyebrows are, I don't know if you can see this, but they're really long. I look like Abe Vigoda. They're so long, and it just feels good to look like, just to be in my natural state again. And the thing is, though, I did my own makeup today. I really do have a lot on. When I wash my face later, it's just gonna run brown. Like, looks like I'm living in Flint, Michigan. It's ridiculous how much paint goes into looking good. And I haven't been wearing makeup just in my daily life. And it's been great for my skin, because it is weird. Women are expected. It's great that we can cover up zits. Like, it's nice to be a woman, and like when a guy has a zit, you just have to have a zit, and we can stuff an open wound with like dirt clay and wonder why it keeps coming back over and over. Yeah. So it is nice to get back to normal. But the other day I haven't been wearing makeup. My dad really thinks, like, because without makeup I look different. My dad thinks his long lost son returned home. He keeps asking me to play catch and build a deck. I'm just like, Dad, I'm a girl. But the other day I did put on makeup because I had like a Zoom call with some guy who's rejected me in the past. And so I put on a little contour and some mascara, and I swear I went to the kitchen, and my dad kind of did a double take and was like, "You look beautiful." And I was just like, "See, Dad, it's true. Like, you like me better with makeup. Like, it's what's in the inside that counts." And he's like, "Can you drink some makeup then? Because you're not nice." So I chugged some CoverGirl, and
good.
Yeah,
that's good. You don't need
cured
therapy.
my corona.
Yeah, if you drink makeup, you do not need therapy.
But my parents have been. What was that?
Well, I was going to ask, it's just like an interesting area for me. Like, you're back home in St. Louis, right? Mm-hmm. And you are, you've talked to me in the past about how maybe you weren't confident with guys, or guys didn't notice you back then. Now you're back, and you've had all this success, and you're back in your hometown where you grew up, and you're interested in dating or socially, distancing.
Yeah.
Are you trying to like look through like guys that maybe didn't pay attention to you?
Oh yeah. I got my yearbooks out for
back
sure.
In high school, but now it's Nikki's revenge. You've come back.
Yep.
So what's that like?
I've been going through my yearbooks and just kind of flipping through, seeing if I had maybe overlooked someone, trying to see maybe this guy, what would he look like without acne, and maybe with some crow's feet and a, pill problem, just classic St. Louis. And, I've been looking, they're all married, for now. I think when this quarantine lets up, there's going to be a lot of single guys out there, but
you think it's going to kill it? Yeah.
I can't wait. But yeah, there has been parts of me that want to go back and be like, would you consider me now? Just to a guy in high school, just to be like, hey, Dr. Havener, remember me? I'm legal now. Just different administrators. He's like, you're too legal. It's a little too much. So, but it's just, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go with any of these people. It's weird how like my standards for men have now changed. I used to want a guy that like was very handsome and maybe, successful, a blue check mark on Instagram. And now I'm just looking for a guy with like a Costco card and who could maybe work a crossbow. It's the other day I was at the grocery store, and the guy just bagging my groceries, I like got a little bit turned on, just because I'm just a man, just a man other than my dad. I was like, the way he like bagged my cauliflower, I was like, he'd be like a good dad. Like that's what I'm starting. Everything's changed for me. I'm glad. I needed to like lower my expectations.
I think, yeah. I mean, first of all, that may be the guy for you, because you're seeing a man in a good light when you're seeing him bagging groceries. He's literally feeding you. He's putting nutrition and food. You're paying for it, but in terms of like caveman stuff,
it's sexy. It's really seeing guys be like safe and wear gloves and face masks, I'm just like, and almost keeping their distance from me, it makes me like them more. I'm like, I'll take a bandana to clean up on aisle myself. Like it's pretty arousing just to see guys having like basic safety precautions now.
Okay, I'm gonna keep
yeah,
that.
life has just changed so much. I feel like I'm just walking around my parents' house like I'm filming the first half of a Cymbalta ad, right. Before she asked her doctor for help, just like sweatpants, limp hair, shivering, like staring outside of windows, being like, I used to have fun. Like it just, things are just so different now. My spray tan is gone. I have only just for the past 10 years of my life just been reapplying spray tans. I don't know if you've ever done a spray tan.
Never have, no.
It takes your white privilege to a new level to be slightly tanner. But I'm back to like, this is my normal skin color. And apparently I'm not Guatemalan. I didn't know that until it came off. I didn't need a 23andMe report. I just needed a loofah. Yeah. I guess. It's just.
You look great. I think you look really great.
I think this is going to be good for women and for everyone. Just we're going to remind ourselves what we look like again. I'm just getting away from beauty. I mean, I got dolled up for this because it's TV and it really matters to me. But in terms of just living my life, I don't know. There's times where, and I think a lot of women are going through this. I just want to shave my head. Like I just want to just I don't want to have to care about anything anymore because it's just about survival. Right. And then I was like, why do I want to shave my head when it hasn't even occurred to me to shave my legs even once during this? Like maybe give those a whirl first. It might be weird to look like Sinead O'Connor up here and Bob Ross down here, but that's what I've got going on. It's such a weird time. My mom was telling me the other day about, my cousin is like, she was like, oh, he broke up with his girlfriend and, just finished school. And I was just like, what's his story? Like I got like almost interested in my cousin because I'm so just, at least I could see, there's a way I could see him maybe and convince my parents I need to see my cousin. And it didn't even occur to me that he was my cousin and that was inappropriate. My first thought was like, oh no, he's too young. That was my first.
So the fact that he was a little young was more of an obstacle to you than he's your cousin.
Yes.
And
it's a real thought I had. I was like, oh, he's so cute.
Yeah.
And the young and too young is a thing because I'm about to be 36 and I'm getting approached by a lot of guys like younger dudes that are like, you could teach me a thing or two. People think I'm like very sexually experienced and just this whole thing of like, teach me. And I'm like, algebra, like what do you want? Do I get the summers off? I need to be taught still.
Now, I did want to ask you this, which is, I've talked to you, this is a good thing for us to mention. You and I have spoken so many times over the years in person and, whether you did my podcast, you've done the show so many times, this Zoom situation.
Oh yeah.
It is, I don't know about you, but I'm doing a ton of Zoom. Everybody wants to Zoom now. And it's this whole new world that I find I'm getting this is fun, but I have so many people reaching out to me saying, let's Zoom, let's have a talk about that on Zoom. And I don't know what the etiquette is. It's weird. It's a very strange.
It's not ideal. I've been doing stand-up on it and it's just, the shows they're fine. And it is like, I did say the other day, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And if the world doesn't ever return to normal, like I could see myself like quitting because this isn't good enough. The laughter lag when you tell a joke in the 2 seconds, you question you add those 2 seconds up and you'll feel really bad about yourself. Cause I need the immediate laughter. How are you doing without immediate laughter? Where are you getting it?
I notice that whenever I'm passing my wife or one of my kids and they're on a Zoom call with somebody, I get in the background and try and do a little something and I see them laugh and I'm like, yes. And they're like, get the out of here.
Yes.
It's sad. I'm trying to get it where I can. But I notice it too. I notice that, there's this rhythm you can get into. I mean, there's some stuff about it I like, and I know that you do you do this too. You're very funny in a situation where there's not an audience. And you understand what's funny without needing an audience to tell you, but getting laughs is just fun. You know, it's fun. And so that's the part. And there is a little weird in Zoom, there's a little delay. So if I think of something funny, I actually weigh, is it worth it? Because there's going to be a delay as opposed to just saying it, you know?
It's so much riskier. It really is changing comedy. It's making it a lot less satisfying to do. And I'm looking into other things. I'm like, should I go back to school and be a therapist? Because they seem to be like really necessary right now. I mean, that's the only people I'm talking to. It's not like it reminds me of talking to boys in high school where I would like crawl away to like get away so I could whisper on the phone. And now it's just, I'm talking to Donna about, you know, how my mom had a weird tone with me yesterday, but I'm zooming everything. My favorite thing about Zoom, and you got to do this when you're in your next Zoom call, you got to look for this moment because it happens every time. You sign off of the call and you're like, this was really fun. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, we'll follow up on that. Thanks. Everyone have a great day. Okay, cool. And then just after that, cool. And then the people looking for the leave meeting.
Yes.
It takes about 2 seconds. And I literally like drool comes out of my mouth. Like,
no, it's so funny because I'm noticing it. I Zoom with all these, you know, different celebrities,
sure.
All the different people I talk to. And I also Zoom with, you know, my producer and my writers. But we all have this thing that we do in society, which is we have a certain animated, you know, thing that we have. And then I love it. It's just like, because it takes a second to find the button. And so what happens is it looks like people have had a stroke. So people
I'm like, did you get the COVID? That's one of the signs.
But it's people really are like, you know, Nikki, it was so great talking to you. I love you. You're the best. You know, take care. And I'll see you when all this madness is over.
Yeah.
And then it kind of freezes there because even after you hit it, they freeze.
You have to then go confirm.
And you're stuck with that image. And suddenly you think that person didn't give a shit about me at all. I just saw what they really think about me.
Yeah. And I see myself do it. Sometimes I catch my face and I'm like, that's the real you. Just. You know, before quarantine, I just thought that, I don't know. I've just had such a busy life. I've worked so hard for my career, and the feminist movement taught me like, you don't need to learn how to cook. You don't need to know how to sew. And that's like kind of all we need to know how to do now. And so I've learned that I've kind of wasted my skill set. Like I really don't, all these women sewing things, I'm just like, wow, they're so much more deserving of love than me. It really has.
I'm glad you're finding a way to
beat myself up.
Hate yourself more during the quarantine. That's fantastic. You're back in your parents' house hating yourself.
I am. My mom told me my roots I needed to touch them up. She was like, your roots look worse. Those are sadder roots than the mini series.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's a good joke I wrote earlier.
That's a joke from 1977.
You're right. I looked it up. I was like, that joke predates me. How do I even know about that miniseries?
I've got sadder roots than the miniseries. That's fantastic. I love that. Kids, look it up. You'll learn a lot.
Yeah, you really will. And a lot of people have been asking me if I've heard my parents having sex. And I was just like, Dad, stop. I haven't. And I have a white noise machine. Do you want me to hear when if my mom screams downstairs, I just convince myself she won $20 on a scratcher. That's all 3 times in a row.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I do. Or she fell out of bed. I would prefer that.
Is she someone who plays the scratcher? Is that what she does?
I got her a bunch of scratcher tickets for Mother's Day, and she won $65, baby. She was so excited. My mom loves small amounts of money. She really gets psyched about it. I just Venmo'd her $50 actually because she cleaned my bathroom for me. I to this level. I worked hard so I would never have to clean anything ever. Like, it's really one of the reasons that I wanted to be like,
yeah,
famous. Is like, I don't like cleaning. No one does, but like, that was really a thing I don't like. And now my room is a mess. And the other day my mom was like, please clean it. And I was like, I'll pay you to clean it. And she's like, you don't have to tell me twice. And she got in there, and I was watching her to like, you know, to see how to tell her to do it better next time. So it was helpful, because I can't clean bathrooms. I can't. The best I do is if my tub will the water will start to rise up to my ankles, and I'll be like, oh, I got to do something. And then I'll rub my foot in the drain and swirl it around and pick up the hair and then put it on the side with my foot on the wall. And then I'll leave it in there until forever.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how to tell you this, but you're a bad person. I just realized.
I know. I am. We all are, deep down.
We'll go on a walk in the woods someday, and I'll tell you all about my thoughts on interviewing, and I'll walk ahead of you.
I can't wait.
And I'll flex an ass that is completely non-existent.
No, we have the same ass.
No.
We really do. I remember in high school, I watched your show and you referred to your ass as a long back.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally, I feel seen. It was like seeing someone with my same disability on TV. You proved to me that I could be someone.
And nothing I do. People say, do this exercise, do that exercise. No, it's not like I need to build up the muscles that are there. There's no muscle and no fat. I have a pelvic area, a rear pelvic area, and it's a straight drop. It's a straight drop.
It's so true.
A little tiny man could safely leap off my shoulders and fall straight and not be injured on the fall down. They wouldn't hit
anything on the way down.
Nikki, I love talking to you. You're really fun always. And I think this situation you're in right now, I don't like this pandemic. I don't like this coronavirus and quarantine, but you at home with your parents is a very funny situation, and it's cracking me up. So
thanks, Conan.
It's great stuff will come of this. Please tell them I said hello and to stop making noise while they have sex. And let's make sure we do the face when I end this. Okay?
Yeah, Conan, I just want to say is amazing to talk to you. This is like the highlight of my quarantine so far, and I love you.
Anytime.
It really is.
Nikki Glaser Bangin' is now available globally on Netflix. Nikki, really good to talk to you.
You too, Conan.